开始了。
Great. So again, healthy lunch, and then read the fun stuff on Reddit. So today we're gonna continue.
把这个换了吧，
这是什么东西？
那是那个 title of 那个 stream。这个还可以写，写我不知道。
哦。OK， 那就开始巴拉巴拉巴拉了。Okay, so I'm going to take my ultra healthy lunch and then looking at the art sub or printmaking sub on Reddit. It's a very good way to spend my lunch break. Today is the Tuesday after the long weekend. The Victoria Day in Canada, the long weekend. So the Tuesday after the long weekend is always crazy. So now I'm taking my lunch at like 3 p.m. I'm taking my lunch pretty late. So still the ultra healthy, no salt, no sugar lunch. As you can see here, this bowl of veggie fruit and a boiled egg. My only salt will come from this holy guacamole, and my super healthy jar of oatmeal, chia seeds, water yam, and soy milk porridge. So no sugar at all. Okay, so let's get started. I was just looking at this post. Show me your printmaking life hacks, because we just found so many interesting printmaking pieces under the sub. So as a self-taught printmaker, I love this subreddit. It's a rich and accessible source of information that's backed by people's actual experience. Something that I particularly like to learn are various tricks and hacks, something you figure out as a solution to a particular problem, an alternative to an inaccessible option. So that kind of stuff, things you hear about and go, how did I not think of this earlier? So if you have any of those up your sleeve, I invite you to share them here. It can be anything related to printmaking, actual process, tools, storage, and cleanup, you name it. That made your life easier and you'd like more people to know about it. So this person or this artist shared his or her experiences and let's see the comments. Excellent hacks. The only one I've got is to get a bunch of different color stamp pads and use a new color for each test print to help keep track of which is the most recent. I also have a huge pad of newsprint for my test prints and try to go from left to right on the test prints as I refine the piece. So I walk away for hours or day. I know where I left off. That's wonderful. You have to be super organized in order to produce prints. Thank you. Oh, that's a great trick. I'm loving the visual of all the colorful proofs leading to a finished print too. Oh, this person is the top one commenter. Let's see. I like the color coding. I'll do that. I store them in a little round tool rack from Amazon, and it sits on a small turntable. Lino cut. I don't know. It's pretty long. Well, let's not go into the details. I do the same with the gauge tips, thin hard plastic straws of protection. Now, we have been looking at this sub for several times during my lunch break, and everything is very much technical. Well, now we're off to classical art sub. The irritating gentleman, German, Der lästige Kavalier. painted by Bertold Walzer in 1874. Oh, in 1874. Painting. Oh my god, it's just a very delicate and very well executed painting. Let's see the comments. I'm sure many people love this painting. In German, Cavalier can also imply a man courting or pursuing a woman romantically. Depending on context, like here with the Lästige, also an unwanted suitor. Unwanted and impertinent. You are worrying this young lady. As subordinate and churlish, I do say entirely uncalled. How inappropriate. Maybe his name is Mr. A. The painting is genius how Walzer captures that moment of social powerlessness where she can't directly tell him off without seeing improper herself. Oh, interesting painting. So many comments here. The poor girl is mourning and this guy is sleazing all over her. I'm sure it still happens in modern transportation. It is just less obvious that the mourning attire is not adhered to as much nowadays. This minus the mourning happened to me a few days ago and it really feels it's hopeless. Oh my god. And her hair is down, which according to the social convention of the time also clearly meant she was socially minor, under 16. The guy is a piece of shit. Guy's not sleazing. He is just asking her if everything is alright. No wonder we all hate each other in the modern age. We would all rather be violent to each other than to love each other. And what the fuck? What's wrong with a rich guy trying to help out poor lady? Or, oh, I know you're jealous. How do you know he's just asking if everything is alright? And why do you need to demean others' interpretation on the painting? That's what art's for, right? Well, contemporary art sometimes is selfish, but I believe that these traditional style paintings are tell the scene. It's hard to tell what this man's doing, right? Well, but from the title it says the Lästige Cavalier because we don't have the context. So that's digital art, stylized object studied by me. Good. To turn real object into illustration or depict real life real objects in illustration. Wonderful. You see the comments. This looks like many people love talking about it. Love this. I should try it. Start with simple shapes first and make the stylization way cleaner than jumping straight to details. Doing man object studies are way easier to finish than full pieces, so you actually get stuff done. Start with some simple stuff like fruit or bottles, way less imitating than jumping into complex shapes right away. I love these. How do you get those cool effects for the highlights? Are they brushes? Photoshop. Most of it's brushes. I made most of them myself, like any triangle scatter brushes or rig brushes. But I also bought a Hue Halftones Dots brush pack. Very technical, very nicely done. Tried a new lino transfer method, surprisingly clean result. Okay, good. So I'll let this video run and then I'll have my lunch in the meantime. This is one of the coolest thing we've seen recently, crossing over from Lino Cup Prince to a video game. I've done Lino Cup Prints since I was a kid and then studied printmaking at our local art academy. My fingers probably don't thank me as I was scraping them badly on the rough cut lino parts. But now, some years later, I'm making good use of experience. This is a game I've been working on for over 3 years, and the visuals are all hand-drawn and influenced by all the months and years making prints. It's been a bit of a struggle to work with this limited color palette, but I think it's worth it as it makes the game stand out among other titles. Over the course of this week, I'm showing off the game to the wide public for the first time. And if you're curious about it, you can join in the play test on the digital store Steam. Oh, I'm collecting people's feedback about everything, including the visuals. By the way, I play World Mahjong on Steam sometimes during my lunch break. So if you want to learn Mahjong or want to just watch me playing, maybe you can come back tomorrow. All the feedback I'll get will influence the future development of this thing, and I will be really grateful for it. You can join until Monday, April 27th. Okay, now it's already May, so we're late for that. And even if you have no care about games, I still want to share this work with you folks just to see what you think. It's just the coolest thing. It's just the coolest thing. Let's see the comments here. This style is gorgeous. It's hard out there for us artists, and in your case, game devs. So I don't mind you posting your game around. I'm glad you shared it with us. I see the Lino inspiration. I'll be taking a closer look on this on Steam. Thank you. That's comforting. For a moment, I felt like maybe I'm the person trying to shove their work down people's throat now, but I really thought that was, oh no, just always be very brave and be confident about your work. There's nothing to hold back. Reminds me of a Lino Cut version of Death Crown Suite. And with a story, I played Death Crown and its great games. Its focus is mainly on offense, defense, and destruction, however. Very cool. In fact, this is the coolest thing I've seen on the internet today. Wow, that's something I haven't yet heard. Thank you. I would say exactly the same. Unique style in the video game universe. I've always loved it. When two different worlds collide like this, that's where the real creative happens. Good job, and hope the game succeed. Thank you, it means a lot to me. I also love when people use haptic techniques as the basis of game graphics. It gives the games a completely different and timely feel, like the games by Amanita Design or by Jack King Spooner and many others. I believe that since games look more and more the same, AI is on the rise, and I'm afraid soon everything will funnel into this mediocre visual style and average good-looking graphics and AI style. It's meaningful to look for other approaches. I think he's absolutely right. Great looks and aesthetic. Dude, this looks. I totally agree. Thanks for sharing. I think I should bookmark this page. I just love this one so much. Okay, bookmark. Let's get back to the printmaking sub. Backroom movie. Thrift store phone. Oh, now we are just random stuff now. Fine art photo. Good work. Very good tone, and with all the noise, it's pretty. Looks vintage. A genius book cover. How to care for works of art on paper. Museum of Fine Arts, Boston. That's brilliant. I got banned from art for low quality work. Anyway, here's my MS Paint art inspired by medieval manuscripts. Oh, I didn't know that you are not allowed to post your work for low quality work. There shouldn't be this discrimination there. And he or she is doing a good job here. It's very good. I started using MS Paint in earnest. That's just an interesting success story. Yeah, I never thought that Microsoft Paint can give you such good quality of digital work. I love playing and with the proportions and the caricature, which learned naturally to my huge passion of medieval history as I explore the art of the time. In my work, I try to reflect my interests and story, and this is the collection of my video game illuminated manuscripts, adapting core parts into a medieval sensibility and referencing its medieval analog from proportions and decorations. For example, Pikachu is framed in a page representing the Pokédex. Sephiroth is depicted as a biblical accurate medieval angel seraphim. That's just so interesting. That's so interesting. PlayStation. Your art is your expression, and that's valid. Quality is so vague with art because some high classic art pieces are also low quality. Some people only draw strokes, and that's also valid because they express themselves. I read often that this sub is weird with that rule. I'm sorry. I like your art. The ideas are cool. Yeah, of course. Anyone remember this one? Smart guy. I don't remember that. A collection of digital cat paintings by me. Digital. Did a good job. Bertolt Waltzer. Now it's the same painting, but posted by a different person. First post on Reddit, photos from Tokyo. Beautiful, beautifully done. Remade ceramics. Did she do some any weaving, stitching on the surface? Oh yeah. That's pretty unique. Never seen this before. Not the same story, just the same way of seeing things. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. It's not easy to be a hero. Come try. Completed my first ever lino cut project. I think because maybe we already looked at it last week, right? Because it was a long weekend. I have a vague memory that we already looked at this lino printer. What am I lacking? How can I improve? This looks like a Japanese story here with a contemporary samurai and oh yeah, this I believe they are from a particular series. I did some work yesterday. Here, let's see. I love these patterns. I love these like techno waves, techno beats, visualized techno beats with a matrix of movements. Let's see the comments. Really nice, thanks. What did you end up using to generate, or all custom stuff? The main thing is that the Perlin function adds some mathematical formulas to make it richer, and then map some contrasting but harmonious colors according to the brightness, and finally add some noise to the background to make the picture look more textured. So you coded it yourself, then fair play. Perlin noise for the texture layer is class. Gives it that organic feel instead of looking stereo. Probably a mix of both, since pure generation rarely nails the detail you actually want. The first one is hot. Second one's got more texture though, a bit more interesting to look at. Yeah, some of my friends prefer the second one. Hey, that's your preference and that's cool. Mine is the first and the third, but especially the first. I find the sparsity and variability in shape size is much more interesting. Like more very interesting. Yeah, these can make a very good series of panels for art exhibition. Generative art. How would you go about cutting large amounts of mini prints? Technical. Close look at bald eagle. There are many bald eagles flying around in Vancouver, in the parks. But never so close. Can you help me identify this artifact? Some cowrie shells as the head and apparently some beads. It's a stolen photo from a private collection. Is it a fake? Are you the owner of it? If you are, what you exactly was? I'm the administrator of Facebook group African Tribal Mask and Artifacts, where a member has posted a post on the artifact. Another member has contacted him. So I'm glad that thanks to my group and artifacts has been stolen, the owner will take action. He can regain it. African Tribal Mask Artifacts Facebook. I think we're all here to learn. If I found a photo online, something interesting I didn't understand, I will take a screenshot and ask. Yes. Oh my god. Interesting. Oh, I see. It's a transparent. Interesting. Very interesting. We should try it out at home sometimes. It actually gives this shoe new life as a piece of art. Why it gives me the mahjong sound. So can someone explain why my hand is dead? Let me take a look here. Okay, so it looks like he or she is playing with 3 balls here. Joker, South, G. I think your hand is dead, game over here, it means either this person didn't get enough points, because there are different rules for different games. Some games they forces you, or in order to win you have to get 8 points. Like this triple bamboo is 1 point, this triple one is 2 points, or this triple circle is 3 points, and you have to get 8 points in order to win. But if one of the other 3 players get 8 points first before you do, you lose the game. But looks like this person's hand is good. Maybe he didn't get enough points soon enough, or this whole game was out of tiles, and nobody wins because he's in good hand, and he has a joker here. Looks like he has one. He has one in the traditional rule. So not sure why this hand. See what other people are saying. I'm new but I'm having fun. What am I doing wrong? Hello, welcome to the community. Don't make the mistake of starting with American Mahjong just because you are, I'm assuming, American. And in fact, there are many reasons why you shouldn't choose it. American Mahjong, as it's often called, is just the rules of the National Mahjong League, a private business organization, and is actually one of many Mahjong variants that originated in the US, though most of the others are not dead. The NMJL rules deviate greatly from basically all other Mahjong variants, in that winning hand is not necessarily 4 sets of 3 and a pair. Yeah, usually a winning hand is 4 sets of 3 and a pair. So instead, the winning hand are of arbitrary structure and are defined in the rule book. The league puts out every year for $15. Your hand not being one of the hands, which is why it was declared dead. I see. So the NMJL itself is kind of a shady organization. It's better to being paywall. The organization runs mainly on volunteer. Blah, blah, blah. American Mahjong is likely someone saw the tiles and heard about Mahjong through word of mouth, but instead of learning the rules, they made their own based on one. That's what I thought. There are just so many variants and so many rules on different platforms. Your hand does not match any of the hands on the NMJL 2026 card of winning hands. American Mahjong does not have winning hands or four number fours. Oh, I see. That's just totally different from World Mahjong. But having jokers is dead. Give away you are playing American Mahjong. American Mahjong is the worst version of Mahjong. Winning hand change every year, and you can use traditional form. Oh, I see. I'm staunchly anti-American, but this is the most aggressive and uninformed post about it a long time ago. The jokers are a fundamental part of the game because the hands are 13 orphans level of it's too complicated. I don't think anybody plays mahjong like that. So let's go back to art. What is it called when the painting feels voyeuristic? Well, Vermeer was using camera obscura. Is there a word for the painting composition style that makes you feel like you're spying in on the scene? I remember learning that Vermeer paintings evoked this feeling, as well as painting like La Meninas. Is there a blog or thread anyone can point me to with a collection of these type of paintings? Voyeuristic seems like the best choice of word, but I think part of the reason Vermeer can feel that way is because of how he painted light such a naturalistic way. If you haven't seen it, the documentary Tim's Vermeer is fascinating and explains why Vermeer and artists like him were able to capture the feeling you're describing. That sounds like you some Italian word for it. Well, let's not get very technical about this feeling. Vermeer's a love letter, a genre painting as well. Intimate, personal. Yeah, I would use those words. Intimate, and gorgeous landscape painting signed in Chinese. Let's see. March 1944. Hello, fellow art sleuth. It has been a few years since I posted this painting on Reddit. I regretfully can't find my previous post, but I'd still love to learn more about it, as I love it. I provided as many high-res photos as I can, along with all the info below. First impression, a very beautiful landscape, probably from the middle of 20th century Europe. The structure is old, however, factory-made canvas is very similar to the canvas of the late 20th century. That's my opinion. The nails aren't very old either. I don't know why the Chinese character is depicted here. However, it is possible that this is a good Chinese artist with a European school painting. In short, this picture is not easy. I think the inscription on the back means property of Kathleen and Bob Wilson, plus Lucy H. Whistler. I can't tell what it says prior to the word problem. So nobody's talking about the Chinese character here. The Chinese signature, a talented. I don't think it's a Chinese artist's name what's signed over there. Doesn't make sense, those two characters. Bu means no, ta is just untidy. There's no point. Somebody name himself that at all. Now that I finally finished sculpting and painting Monica, I would love some advice on how to mount her to my wall. Which is your favorite from my hike today? Is this... Where is it? No, not Vancouver. 8.5 foot tall abstract pointillistic work. That's just crazy. That's crazy. Time challenge lino carvings. Underside of the spiral staircase of Schloss Hattenfels in Torgau, Germany. The Kiss, Francisco Hayes, one of Romanticism's most passionate scenes, hiding a secret message of rebellion and political conspiracy. Sean Tan, never eat the last olive at the party. I think I have seen this artist Sean Tan's work before. Never eat the last olive at the party. Okay, let's keep that in mind. New Girl broke 9 months of work. Opus by Zaha Hadid. Somewhere in China, maybe? Let's see. Between influence, infringement in art. Left in lieu of background. How do you guys think about these sketches? Hi, this is all of my most okay art. Messing around and made some pixel art tiles. Any feedbacks? Oh, looks good. The Storm. Just so beautiful. Three months traveling, 10K photos. Let's see what's going on. Can we do a slideshow here? No. Hong Kong, probably. Doolittle House by Kendrick Ben's catalog. Oh, look at this. Look at this chest here. There's a video tour of this up on YouTube. It's amazing and deeply uncomfortable in pretty equal measure. Like someone had a vision and made it happen, and that's fantastic. But I can't imagine someone actually living in it. Oh, let's find the video. Let's look at the video tour.
inspired by skeleton that's been moved out of the city engine. It's got that kind of shape. It's got the little ridges on it. I always thought it was really pretty. This is one of 9 exterior doors. Each door has to fit one column, but it has to go to the other. So in order for the door to function, I needed at least one straight edge, and all the angles, each one is individually made. The door has its own motion for the etched glass. The frosted glass leaves it kind of up. There's a lot of plants out in the desert that have that same silvery green tone. This stone structure was a planter that had cactus and plants in it. And Scott said it was another planter, love or once again, kind of spine column thing with the lids kind of off. If you remember the 60s, the lids and the articulate another shape. It's never had a kind of stick around it like this. It's going straight. Red, blue, cat, apple, blue, black, green, like the death. That's originally all the light situation placed in the whole house were made for this also analog type light switch. When Scott moved in, he wanted to update the lighting system. This is one of the remaining one, and we're hoping in the future we'll have a little bit more time to make this switch cover. The Doodles were kind of introverted people, so they never thought that they would be more this I want to finish. This is highly toxic stuff from the 80s. This room is guest bedroom. It kind of feels to me like a little cathedral in here. Has a different feel from the rest of the house. If you have the choice between cantilevering and not cantilevering, I always choose cantilever. So this desk is cantilever. The bed here has shelves. The marble was in the form of a huge block about the size of a small car, and every piece of marble came out of the same rock. We still haven't completed the house, so this is one of those details. I just knew we wrecked something, and you still have to be fabricated. This is the guest bathroom, and it's one of my favorite rooms in the house. I didn't know what I was thinking, but I just went crazy with the marble, and I fabricated these sinks and cabinets. I just love the shapes and the volumes. When I was in college, there was a furniture maker there who's really famous, named Jack Hopkins, and he taught me to make furniture by stacking wood, and then I took his technique and transferred it to marble.
This is beautifully cut. Yeah, every single element is just customly made, and the location is interesting.
The house was totally up to 10. It just goes to show you this genius, though, that it's one thing to be looking at a topographical map, but it blows your mind to try to think about how you could place a building in a massive wilderness. It's almost beyond imagination. How is mine works? One of the main purposes is that the interior and exterior become one as much as possible. The house floor begins at the street and flows through the whole house. The material for it came from a rock slide. It's an exact match in material and color for the boulders that are in the house. The boulders just flow right through the floor out into the landscape. I think this house will be around forever because of the choice of materials. It's basically stone has been ground up and put back together. And I'm a little bothered sometimes by the label of organic architecture. One of the influences I never talked about through my whole career was abstract expressionist painting. You have like Jackson Pollock and Mark Rothko, and they're just.
This is crossing over from Art Deco to
I would just say
contemporary or futurism, even futuristic and Art Deco and retro futuristic.
The house, it has a certain austerity to it, but on the same token, I think because of the choice of materials, it feels really warm inside the house to me, but it still has a little bit of an edge to it, which I really like. When you have people in this space, it is great. It is really wonderful. Even though it was never made for entertaining, it's the perfect spot to entertain. My work on the house has taught me everything about designing and fabricating, especially in recent years, has taught me to be social, enjoy showing it to people, and so I feel really good about that. This house comes as close as anything could be.
It's amazing how primitive and futuristic it looks at the same time. It feels ancient yet very modern. It's artistically functional. It's ancient, it's futuristic, it's contemporary. It's surprised how it's not more widely known. It's a true masterpiece. Okay, let's find the location of this house. And then we can wrap up on my lunch for the day. Maps. Carlo Doolittle residence. Oh, I see. In California. North of Palm Springs. Interesting. Wonder how they solve the problem of water, and probably it's still on the power grid. Looks like it's just on the power grid. Oh, I see. It's on the edge of a town. Desert, right on the border of the grid and the wild, the outback. Very interesting. Alright, let's call it a day. And tomorrow we can maybe play World Mahjong and relax during the lunch break. Okay, see you guys tomorrow.